I remember being completely hammered and just laying on the floor thinking to myself like, gosh, I wish I wasn't such a coward, or it'd be done, I'd end it right now. And I remember laying there, and then thoughts go to my kids and thoughts go to my parents and the people around me. And I realized that I had to make some kind of change. I linked up with a guy who his father did mixed martial arts. From there on, I was involved and fell in love with it very, very quickly. And ended up hurting myself in training. I ended up blowing my knee out. I was just kind of beat up and tired of the sport, and I didn't watch it, I didn't talk about it, I didn't even tell anyone that I was previously a fighter. I just wanted nothing to do with it, and just kind of even forgot that I did it. I'd been fighting so long I hadn't planned on anything else. From that moment on, it felt like things just got worse and worse and worse. I wasn't doing anything that I found fulfilling. Pretty down on myself at that point. I found that I would eat to feel better, and then I would feel worse, and then I'd eat some more to try to feel better, and it was just kind of that cycle it felt like it never stopped. I kept eating to kind of forget about what other things I should have been focusing on, or my personal life. Instead of focusing on me, I kind of focused on everything else. When that all fell apart, I realized I was huge. I gained a ton of weight. I stepped on the scale and I looked at the number and was just shocked. I hadn't realized I was 320, and because when I competed earlier in my career, I was a 145 or 155 category. So to be 320 all of a sudden, I was kind of blown away. The negativity kind of caught me, and it poured into the rest of my life, and my marriage went down pretty fast, my business went down pretty fast, and the next thing I know, I was alone. I would convince myself how bad I was, or how sad I was, or how I wasn't good enough. I would tell myself this stuff. How can you be a good husband, or how can you be a good father if you have convinced yourself that you're not any good? I had been drinking quite a bit, and that was another thing that was a big issue for me, is I drank a lot. Luckily, I had two best friends that were right with me the whole time, and it was to the point where they're like, you're gonna die, dude. If you don't stop what you're doing, you're gonna die. And then my son was another. My son he's been through hell with me. He's been with me the whole time. He had to grow up a lot faster than he should have. I could have been better, but then I started kind of piecing together, and I realized that I did this to myself. I found that I was starting to get down on myself again, and I didn't like that feeling. And then one night on social media, I came across the Arthur story. I was laying in bed on the laptop, and I saw it, and I watched the video a couple of times and thought how incredible his story was, and how his before and after was remarkable. I thought it was just, how could that be possible? It did become like every day I'm gonna get up and we're gonna follow this guide, and we're gonna do it, which helped just how I saw myself and how I would speak to myself. I went through this span where I literally said yes to everything. Like anything that came up, anything that sounded remotely good, I'm doing it. So like 5K runs, I'm doing it. Like I said no for so long. I said no to good opportunities just because I was afraid of change, or I was afraid that I wasn't going to be good enough, or I was afraid of failing. And I wanted to be able to overcome that fear, because I didn't want it to haunt me forever, because I felt like it had been. I got more serious about my diet, more serious about my training, and then October 22nd of 2016, I was in the cage for the first time in 6 years. I just want to finish what I started when I was 16 years old. I want to be able to look back and be proud of it, because before I wasn't. It's important to me to be able to finish this. And I learned quick through DDP yoga is that fitness it's a journey, it's not a race. Nobody gets a medal at the end of it. Anybody with effort can do this. It's not some magical formula. It's not. It's just being able to talk yourself into the talk yourself into the right mind frame, and then you'll be able to accomplish more things than you can imagine.